My name is Carole Mandi. I'm a publisher with Carole Mandi Media, and I publish 3 magazines: True Love, which is a women's magazine, Drum, and Home and Living. These stories are very effective and they're actually powerful. They are powerful too in giving a voice and a face to women struggling with infertility, because as we are all aware, in many families this is a hush topic. People don't want to talk about it, number one. Secondly, these women are ostracized, they are disenfranchised, they're disinherited, they are sometimes divorced, put away from their families, and they're just sort of pushed aside to the margins of society. So when you're able to put a face and a voice, then you speak for countless other women who maybe we cannot identify. But then these women then become the face and the voice of the African woman struggling with infertility. So the role of the media is important in terms of chronicling the stories, but also in terms of providing information so that people know what this is all about. What is infertility? How can you deal with it? How can it be addressed? And what is the way forward? And where to go for help? Sometimes also that's critical because there's lack of information and people just feel alone sitting in their own little corner as if this is the one thing that's only affecting me. But it's a huge problem. And just, given the research that it affects 1 in 4 couples, that's big. That's about 25% almost of our population that's being affected by this. The Merck Media Recognition Award is important because it will encourage journalists to tell these stories, to highlight the issues that are affecting women who struggle with infertility. It will encourage them because in our setting, we know that there's journalists tend to be overly, is the word enamored by politics. So any stories of women, something that's affecting half the population, and it's not given the visibility or the attention that it deserves. And so I think it will encourage journalists to actually go beyond what it is that they do and the stories that they focus on, and actually look at the nitty-gritty of this issue, tell these stories, but also apart from that, offer hope, to women and men. Well, the media can break the stigma by the messaging. It's about creating positive messages about this issue and women struggling with this issue, and consistently reinforcing these messages regularly on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, but not just letting this be something that you talk about once a year, but that's something that comes up regularly and that it's given prominence, because it's a critical aspect of a woman's life and we need to talk about it, and we need to empower her to continue. She's no less of a woman because she cannot have a child. She's still a woman, and she's no less productive or meaningful to her society and her community because she has not born a child. She's still just as important. And so that message needs to be constantly reinforced. And once that is done, then I believe you begin to break the stigma. I accepted to be a judge on the Merck More Than a Mother Media Recognition Award for 2 key reasons. One, I'm a woman, and this issue touched me deeply and personally. The stories of the women were heartbreaking, what they have to go through. Being a mother, and a woman, I know just how I loved the whole experience of motherhood, and to not have that, sometimes through no fault of your own, nothing you have done, it's just something that has happened to you, and even sometimes it's not even anything that has anything to do with you as a woman. It could even be your partner who is unable to do this. But then the way the community sort of gangs up against these women, and I want to be part of helping these women get a voice, or just raising awareness towards this issue. And let's not say that, there's anything wrong with you simply because you've been unable to have a child, biologically bear a child. There is nothing wrong with you. You're still important, you're still useful, you still have so much to contribute regardless of that. So your womanhood is not defined by the fact that you can give birth. And yet culturally, it kind of was. Your worth kind of was, dependent on the fact that you could have a child, and in some instances have a male child. It wasn't even enough to have, children, as long they needed to be male children. So as a woman, those issues affect me, and they touch me on a deeply personal level. Secondly, because we publish women's magazines and we walk with women through every journey of their lives. This is a journey, 1 in 4 women will be going through at some point in their lives. We cannot be ignorant about it. We cannot be silent about it. So for me, publishing East Africa's leading women's magazine, it just made sense that yes, this is something that we definitely want to put our strength and our resources behind, and our support, moral or otherwise, behind something like this. What I can do as an ambassador is to continue to create awareness through our products, through our platforms, to tell the stories of these women, to provide a ray of hope, and tell those stories in a way that doesn't also further dehumanize them. Because there is a way that you can tell a story that leaves the person who's telling the story in a place of victimhood. I want to be able to have these stories be positive stories of women moving beyond this issue of their lives and still continuing to be useful members of society, and to believe that they are actually useful members of society. To be able to break that and to give these women hope by telling the stories or showcasing stories of women who are living or dealing with this issue, but still thriving in their communities, wherever they are. So for me, that's my commitment, is to continue to spotlight this issue positively.